Hi, I'm Jenny Babbage and I'm an English literature tutor here at Cambridge. If you're thinking about joining us this year for the Literature Summer School, you are probably wondering about what our courses are like and what you could expect to be doing. You'll join us for a period of 2 or 4 weeks, and you'll be able to choose from a range of courses covering diverse authors and literature of the past to contemporary writing. While you're enjoying Cambridge in its summer clothes, you could also be travelling to the Victorian underworld with Dickens, or the wild Yorkshire moors with Charlotte Bronte. You might choose to venture back to meet the heroes of ancient Greece and Rome, or cycle forward to study dystopian futures. I'll be teaching a course which covers that kind of material. If your passion is poetry, then you could choose a course which helps you to make sense of poetry by guiding you through techniques of close reading and literary analysis. If you already have a favourite author, you might choose to spend a week lost in Jane Austen or absorbed in James Joyce. Perhaps you know Shakespeare quite well already, but would like to study one aspect of his work, say tragedy, in greater depth. You might like to strike out into an area you've never studied before, though, graphic novel perhaps, or children's literature. Some of our courses take a particular theme, looking at love or religion in a range of texts, or assess the potential of literature to explore philosophical ideas.
Coming to Cambridge is really like opening Pandoras Box. You glean a little bit of information from the courses, and then you realise that there's this whole other world of information, and it's very difficult to sort of contain yourself.
The summer schools have been fantastic. It's a really accelerated program, so in 1 week we're able to condense, for example, 5 Shakespeare plays or 3 Jane Austen novels. And for me, the pace of that is absolutely exhilarating. The professors are amazing. They're incredibly intelligent, and they're also just really interesting people to talk to, inside and outside of class.
I think there's also something about the summer school atmosphere, you know, that people have devoted a week or 2 or 3 to this experience, and they've really set aside some time, and they definitely want it to be special. So it's a kind of concentrated moment when lots of exciting things can happen.
I'm Vivian Heilbronn. I trained as an actress at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, and I work for the Academy now both as a teacher and an examiner, and I've been teaching at Cambridge for I think about between 8 and 10 years now. My work differs from the work of the rest of perhaps the other lecturers because mine is very practical, and I'm using the skills I have as an actor and the experience I've gained as an actor performing Shakespeare to teach my students how to bring the words off the page, to not be frightened of Shakespeare, to not be frightened of iambic pentameter. It's there to support, to look at the structure, look at the shape, look at the form, and then see how you feel about it. I'm working with students from all over the world. I think I've had 1 British student in one of my classes. This year I've been doing As You Like It for 1 week and a 2-week course on Macbeth. And we have people from Italy, Japan, China, and so on and so forth, a lot of Americans of course. And they're all of varying ability, but I hope they've all got a great deal out of the course. It's been great fun teaching them. There's been a very nice atmosphere. They're very supportive of each other. They are very pleased when they can see one of their colleagues, you know, making progress of any kind. They're up on their feet, they're reading for some of them. It's quite a challenge, but some of the most frightened ones seem to kind of get a lot of courage, and by the end it's hard to stop them actually.
Whichever course you choose, we aim to provide you with an experience of study inspired by the great traditions of literature and criticism at Cambridge. Some of the most famous names in literature called Cambridge home for a while: Christopher Marlowe, William Wordsworth, Lord Byron, Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath, right up to Zadie Smith and George the poet. Alongside these illustrious names, Cambridge has also given us great critics and scholars of literature. Above all, Cambridge English is about really paying attention to the words on the page and to reading with serious pleasure. If your idea of heaven is having some time and space to read and to be around other people who love reading and talking about and discovering books, then you'll enjoy our courses. Most of your tutor-led sessions will involve some lecture time and then talking together and reading together about the text for the day. Your tutor is there to lead the discussion, to share their expertise with you, providing you with contextual, historical or theoretical material to enrich and extend your own reading. There will be daily lectures pertaining to our theme, which this year is Connections and Conflicts. Each lecturer will be considering this theme in relation to their own area of interest. So you might hear a lecture on the rivalry between Dickens and Thackeray on Monday, and then hear about the love letters of Elizabeth Barrett Browning and Robert Browning on Tuesday.
My name is Diane Stillman. I'm an American, and I'm currently living in Istanbul. I teach English and drama to Turkish students at a private school in Istanbul. And I heard about this program. I didn't hear about it. I found it while I was searching for anything this summer I could do that was related to Shakespeare. So I started reading, and I found out I could take 4 classes on Shakespeare with scholars. And I haven't been in a scholarly setting since I was an undergrad. And even there, it was much more practical work. So after years of working with students on Shakespeare in a much more practical manner as a director, to be able to go back to reading essays and criticisms and listening to how other people understand Shakespeare's works, I just found there was no going back once I found that website.
We want you to leave the summer school having had a period of total immersion in reading and thinking about literature. We want to share our beautiful city with you and to spend some happy days sharing dynamic ideas and magnificent words.